Hey, this is Dave Blair coming to you again from DaveBlairMusic.com. Today we're going to be doing a shootout between in this corner, Maxon Overdrive Pro OD 820. In this corner, Ibanez, which is a descendant of Maxon ts9. I'm gonna mess you up. Go for it. Anyway. I can't wait until we get to, we're going to do the King B, which is a Russian pedal. And I could really do, the Russian pedal against, like, the Rocky pedal and be like, I will break you. But these are two Japanese pedals, so I can't do that yet. But for now, we have the Maxon and the Ibanez, which is synonymous almost with Maxon ts9. Now, the Maxon Overdrive Pro OD 820 is kind of a cousin or a derivative of the 808 and the ts9 family. Note basically the same color. This is a little greenier. This is a little paler green. They're both kind of ugly. One disclaimer is this ts9 is not a stock ts9. It's a stock ts9 with a slight mod to it. I think they did something with the the bucket brigade chip or something. I don't know. It's not the Analog Man mod, but it was some kind of mod to make it a little smoother or something. So it's not your typical ts9, but you get the idea. It sounds like a ts9, and we're gonna see how close it is, or how much different or better or worse or whatever the OD 820 is. If you've seen my other demo of the OD 820, I think it's a stellar pedal, and I've also used the ts9 as everyone has over the years, and it has a cool sound as well. This is a Two-Rock Emerald Pro with a Celestion Classic 80 speaker and a Bogner cabinet, going to SM57, to a Pacifica preamp for the recording. And this is Les Paul standard gold top with a stock bridge pickup. And the neck pickup is made by Thurland James, and if you like the sound of that, you could find him on Facebook. He's a friend of mine on Facebook, and you could send him a message and say, make me some pickups like that as well, or guitars or whatever. Some of my other demos, you could see some of the guitars he's built. He knows his stuff, and he's got some good sound and stuff, or else I wouldn't use it. So let's start with a clean channel. Now, one thing to note on the OD 820 is that if you turn the drive channel all the way down, it essentially bypasses the drive circuit. So it's really truly a clean boost. So if I normalize the volume so it's not much of a volume change, you notice it's quite transparent. On, off, on. It's practically, it's transparent. Let's see how the ts9 fares. The ts9 does not do that, so it's going to sound different. So I'm going to have to drive all the way down, and notice with the ts9, even with the drive all the way down, you're adding quite a bit of clean distortion. It's overdriving it quite a bit. This is the ts9 again. It grits it up a little bit. Off. So it doesn't have that clean boost that the OD 820 is. So right off the bat, you hear that difference. And it's totally different as well. So let's take the drive up to 9 o'clock and see what we get. So here's clean. OD 820. Clean. ts9. So it's definitely different as well. Let's just compare. OD 820. This is a ts9. OD 820. So here the OD 820 is a little opener on top, frequency-wise, a little more headroom. So let's push it to noon with the drive. So let's just OD ts9. Now next the levels. I have to push the level a little bit. Clean. ts9. OD 820. It definitely sounds different. You hear the OD 820 is a little more open on top. The Ibanez sounds a little less clear and a little muddier by comparison, but it's still a cool sound. It's thick. And here's the OD 820. Now it sounds very different on more of the single note stuff. OD9 sounds a little darker. Now right now at this point I want to play with the tone knob because they also react very differently. If I brighten up, let me push the tone on the OD 820 and the ts9 to about 3 o'clock. So here's a 820. And here's the ts9. Back to the 820. Much more articulate. Oh, actually, that was both of them. Sorry. Sometimes this pedal sticks. Here's the 820. Nine. One thing is about the 820, you could kind of have more gain going on to it, with it sounding like less gain, if that makes any sense. You don't have as many of the side effects as you do with the ts9. You don't get as much of the noise and the unwanted fuzz, and it's a little less extreme, but it gives you all the best stuff and still sounds more natural to my ears. Let's push the treble all the way. So we're going to take the tone all the way up on both of these. Clean. 820. Try the ts9. Sounds very different. Now, what I really want to try is, now I'm going to change to rock to its crunchy channel. And this is where these get interesting. I'm going to also switch to a neck pickup. So here's the 820. Here's the clean, or the amp on a slightly crunchy channel. Now let's try ts9. Clean. Oh, the 820. Sound very different. It just sound very different. I could describe it in different ways, but I'd say the Overdrive Pro just sounds more, the OD 820 Overdrive Pro sounds more natural, sounds more open. The ts9 sounds a little more like a pedal. It's in some ways it seems more aggressive, but I think the OD 820 can get very aggressive, but just doesn't sound like a pedal doing stuff, if that makes any sense. Now let's try to push the drive and see how if any of these fall apart. I'm going to push the drive all the way on both of these. So, here's a OD 820. I'll try the ts9. Try to do a little more experimenting. A20. ts9. So now I want to just do some fast picking riffs to see if the articulate remains. Now the drive is all the way up, so I want to push these guys and see if they fall apart or have any weird side effects when I push them. So I'm going to do some fast picking with the A20. All the notes kind of remain pretty very articulate. You hear every note. Doesn't get all fuzzed out. Try this with the ts9. I do hear a difference. It sounds a little cloudier to me on the ts9. I have the tone in the middle position on both of these. The Overdrive Pro sounds a little more open, more articulate. Again, the ts9 just sounds a little muddier to me in general. A little less hi-fi. I think that part of that has to do with the voltage and the headroom. With the OD820 has the doubling the voltage, which I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning of the Shootout. The Overdrive Pro, one of the big differences in the circuitry is it's taking that 9 volts and doing some kind of voltage doubling in there, so that it gives you more headroom as opposed to just a 9-volt ts9. So it does just make it sound more natural, more open. Not that there's anything wrong with the ts9, but ts9 always felt, in general, a little muddy to me, a little mid-rangey, less natural, and it can get noisy at the louder volumes, whereas the Overdrive Pro doesn't get so buzzy or noisy to me. And also the treble settings on the ts9 get a little harsh once you get past like 3 o'clock. So let's just, I'm going to just do a couple more types of things. This is the drive all the way up on the OD820. Let's try the ts9. OD820. One thing I noticed kind of on that riff is that the Overdrive Pro seemed to cut through a little more. Seemed like I had a little more bite on it, even though they're both cranked. And the tube streamer even sounds almost a little more distorted to me. So I don't know. It seems, I don't know how to explain it, but the OD820, you could have it all the way cranked, and it still doesn't have all the weird side effects. But it still has all the good things. It has the bite, has this, the extra oomph, the balls that it gives you. But without the extra, side effects of fuzziness or overcompression or muddiness. And the ts9, although is a very good pedal, you notice the difference. So let's do another example. You notice when you're doing, let's say something like ts9. So let's take this, ts9, now it's ts9. frequency boost is a little more like in the low mids on the TS9, whereas it's just a opener, high, upper mid to high end, and a little wider boost on the ODP. So that's a matter of taste. Try that with a TS9. It's weird. It feels like the OD820 gives me a little more bite and a little more articulation. The TS9 seems a little muddier to me. It seems almost like I have, even though it's almost more distorted or more fuzzy with the TS9, it feels like I have, as I'm playing, it feels like I have a little less gain. It feels less gainy, even though it's more gainy. I think it's just the Overdrive Pro, really because of that openness and that headroom, that you could have a lot of gain, but it doesn't sound all fuzzed out or fizzed out or overcompressed or oversaturated. So that's a really cool thing. It's kind of like the best of both worlds, and you could, like there's no free lunch in anything in audio. So usually, if you gain something, you have to. There's some side effects, or something that you lose. Like you get when you add gain, you sometimes lose some dynamics and you lose some articulation. And with the ODP, you could really put a lot of gain into it. As you heard, a lot of balls, a lot of oomph, a lot of gain, a lot of bite, adds some sustain, fullness to it, without it really getting the weird side effects of adding like a harshness on the upper mids, or harshness on the high end, or getting a fizziness, or losing articulation. That's great when you could play a very fast thing with all the bite, with the gain on it, but you still hear every note. And the OD9 does, the TS9 does that well, but when you compare them, I think there's a difference, and you could use your own ears from this, which you prefer. I would say I definitely prefer the 820 because of that. It's hard to find an overdrive pedal that has that kind of headroom on it. And I've used things like the Klon, the original center Klon. I had one of them one of the earlier ones, and that was definitely had that openness and the dynamics in it. But it has some sweet spots and other hard spots where it was just a little too mid-rangey. It was good for very, very good for certain things. Whereas, let's say the 820 is very flexible. I could see it being used as just doing a slight boost on a clean channel to give it a little more bite, or even taking you up to a slightly crunchy channel and taking you into Van Halen, Satriani type of territory. Whereas a Klon, I don't think would be really good for that. It was never designed for something like that. It was more to take a clean channel and make it a little bite bluesy, like Stevie Ray Vaughanish. So I would say run out and buy an 820. No, don't go out and buy an 820 because it's my secret weapon in my one of my secret weapons in my arsenal, which I'm giving away all my tips here. So you better. That reminds me, I'm giving all this free advice out. Subscribe to the button wherever that is on the screen. And if you go to DaveBlairMusic.com, you could even download a free song. More free shit.